you? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, good whatever time it is. Welcome to Career Cruise Podcast. My name is Violette Wambua. For those who do not know me, and for those who know me, karibu tena sana. Bring your friends as well. Let's all chill here together. Let's all hang out. Let's learn more about, things to do to make our lives better, to make our careers better, to make our businesses better, and just to make our whole cruise in life much better. Remember to like, to subscribe, to share this episode. Sharing is caring, okay? Don't just learn and grow in secret. Bring your friends in as well. You don't have to watch together, but just everybody to take in the information and we all grow together. Let's see differences. If it's January, let's check each other out in October. Let's see what differences Career Cruise has done in your life. So welcome once again. Today we're going to talk about something that I learned at a gathering I'd gone to, and it just stirred me to thinking, what really can I do to better myself? Okay. Career Cruise is all about bettering ourselves in everything that we're doing. So today I particularly want to discuss, and I actually wrote notes. Like, I was serious. I had to come and share with you guys because I love you that much. I wrote notes. Things we can do to step up. Okay? We'll talk about stepping up, Sarah Hassan for us level up. It was just all about upgrading, improving. That's what we all want. Like the person you were last year, not supposed to be the person you are this year, and everything you want for your life has to be a before and after. Like, we need to be established in everything we're doing. Whether it's established over a short period of time or over a long period of time, but our lives just have to be different, and different in a positive way. Here at Career Cruise, we are addressing people who are in self-employment, entrepreneurs, people who are working in professional jobs, people who are studying, people who are on breaks and in between. We're addressing all of you. We want you to realize that no matter where you are in your life, whatever season it is in your life right now, there's still ways in which that you can do your best and show up as your best self and get best results for that then will carry you into the next season of your life. Because at every day there's an investment you're making into yourself that your future self will thank you for. For example, I've observed someone who she took up going to the gym religiously, and at first it didn't look like anything, but now 4 years later she looks like a totally different person. I'm actually in awe of her, and I'm actually inspired. Don't come asking me for accountability, but yes, I'm inspired. So so the thing is, it's small steps that, small steps, small investments. What are you reading? What are you feeding your mind? The people you're hanging out with, the places you're going, how are you spending your time? Are you resting? Because then resting gives you better mental clarity and sharper focus. It's always small things. Even what you're eating, are you drinking enough water? If you're on any medication, are you taking medication regularly and religiously? Are you going to church? Are you praying and meditating? What are you doing? What are your spiritual practices? And over time, these things now, they tend to add up, and we start to see the effects. Even people who start a skincare routine. So at first it didn't look like anything is happening. The skin is not as smooth as it was promised on the box. But with time and consistency, then things are taking shape and they're looking much better than they were looking 2 years ago. People just say, it takes too much time. But guess what? The time will pass. 4 years ago, that girl she started going to a gym. Now she looks like a totally different person. The time has passed. Someone who did not start, their time has still passed. So it's for you to decide that I know a month sounds like it's a long time, but the month will pass. So what do I want for myself at the end of this month? The year, this year course, a full year for a course, that's a long time. Yeah, sure, it's a long time, but guess what? The year will pass. So do you want your year to look the same as it was in January and then in December? So today we're all about the things you can do to step up, to level up, to upscale yourself, to totally be in a different level, even in terms of your thinking, in terms of your acquisition and your knowledge and your attitude as well, and your practices for a good life. So I'll go into something that I absolutely loved. So value. So, everybody says, I want value for my money, I want value for my time. Yes, value. So you have to understand the law of value. Okay. Seek to offer value. Okay. Value at all times. Offer people value at all times. Whatever, if you come into a situation, you be the MVP. You be the most valuable player in that situation. When it comes to your family, seek to offer them value. Okay. When it comes to your friends, seek to offer them value. When you go to work, offer value. When you're serving your clients, offer value. So when you offer value, okay, it's literally a sure bet for success. People will pay for value. Like, people don't, I've come to discover as a business person that people don't just pay 2,000 bob. I mean, someone can even pay you 20K for something that you thought maybe 2,000 is a price. But because of value that is attached to that thing, that service, that product, it's just like you could charge them whatever amount and they'll still pay because of the value they're feeling. So yeah, seek to offer value. And with value, your prices go up. With value, even the salary that you'll demand maybe at the next job goes up. With value, now you can even afford to increase your prices for your goods and services if you're a business person. With value, you realize that if you're a student maybe, and I'm talking about maybe in high school, those kids who show initiative, and teachers that you even get more favor, you get more help, you get, with value, your friendship levels also improve, because now people are like, hey, we feel like this person should be in our circle, or you're now becoming a person that everybody is reaching out to because of the value that you're showing. And it doesn't mean that you let yourself be exploited. I'm against that. So even the good book says a good name is better than silver or gold. So yeah, value in your name is very important. Okay, make sure that your reputation is fantastic. So you build a good name for yourself. Okay, build a good name for yourself. If you're a business person, be the name. Just pick a lane and work on it. So if you're running a salon, just do your very best in that lane, and you'll see how amazing it is. Because people just know, if they hear about you, they know what it is to associate you with, and it's always going to be a good and valuable service or product or experience. Please stay focused, because once you decide to be a name and you decide to add value into this name, whether it's there's a friend of mine who told me, so she works as a facilities manager, and she told me she's looking at being called Betty, the facilities manager. Like, not just Betty of company XYZ, like Betty the. Like, when you think about people who are in the facilities management industry, she wants to be the name that pops up. Like, top 5 of names that people say, oh, do you know anybody in this industry? Pap, Betty, or Betty, pap. That's what she wants. And I thought, that's amazing. So she said to stick it in that lane. She's focused, and that's what she wants. This is someone who's even an engineer by profession, but she's decided to go into this area of work, and she's liking it, and she wants to be the industry name. And I really admired that. Like, she's not trying to be here, to be there, to be, no, she's decided this is my lane, and that's where I'm going to shine. So yeah, so she said that she wants to be the name Betty, the facilities manager, and that's that. So she's working on it, she's getting certifications. Of course, there's work experience that she has, but now she wants to even sharpen it some more and give it proper gold lining, or is it gold plating? Okay, so find your valuable place and keep your focus. And I'm just thinking about Beyonce. Beyonce is such an icon in the sense that there's nothing we hear about Beyonce that is a fail. Like, so we know she sings for us, we know she can act, we know she's producing outfits, she's producing hair products, but it's like she's still, even with all these differentiations and variety of things that she's doing, somehow we still remember her as a music icon. And that's so amazing. Like, she's really found her place, she has cemented her position, and she has continued to shine and shine and shine in it, and rise at the same time. So, and because she's so excellent at what she does, so even when she sells you a cup, you will run to buy the Beyonce cup because of who she is. So yeah, I think when you build a name and you stay focused and you just said, I'm going to add value to everything I'm doing, it's just amazing. I mean, Even people who were pop stars a long time ago want her to sample their music, as in she's that good. They're like, if this one comes and she touches my song, it will blow up yet again, you know? And of course, the royalties that this older musician will earn even more and more. So I think it's someone to learn from. You know, you may not be thinking I'm at that level or whatever. Don't be intimidated by Beyonce's level. Just learn the lessons and try to apply them in your own sphere, in your own area. You have to determine your focus, and you have to suspend suspend the fear of missing out. I think a lot of times, and I'm not speaking to myself, a lot of times there's so many things happening. Like if you open your calendar, actually no, just go to Google and look for events this weekend or events this month. So many things are happening, like good and bad, you know. But is there anything bad really? There's the good stuff, there's all these webinars are happening, all these events are happening, all these entertainment things are happening, so many things are trending, you know, so you can easily just feel like you're missing out on life. If you go on your Snapchat or on your Instagram or whatever, TikTok, you will just see that, hey, people's lives are popping. You know, you may think that you're being left behind, but really when you decide to focus, it means then that you've suspended the fear of missing out. Like, yes, you're missing out, it's true, but you're missing out because you're planting into yourself, you're doing a lot of things in and for yourself, so then your future self will thank you. So the 1 year you're missing out on things, you're getting your higher diploma in something. That 1 year. The 1 month you're missing out on something, another good thing is what you're doing. So you're replacing. Instead of saying, oh, I'm missing out on all these things. No. Those ones will always be there. Like, incidentally, when I was younger, I used to think my mom is just telling me not to go out. The rave is happening. Oh, you know, people are having fun and I'm not. I'm just locked in here, so miserable. And my mom used to say, see, the party scene is not going anywhere. Even when you're 55, there will still be a party scene. Oh my God, she was right. I should have just listened. You know, I used to feel so miserable. But it's true, the party scene does not end. So you take your 1 year, take your 2 years, take your that little period of time that you're giving yourself to focus on yourself, to focus on your craft, focus on the thing that you want to do. Please, when you're getting done, when you're getting your certification, you're getting your rewards, the party scene will still be happening. You can go and party to enjoy, to celebrate or whatever, but you've spent that time building upon yourself. Yeah, so make sure you suspend the fear of missing out. You don't have to jump on every trend. It's okay. Keep your money in your pockets. Keep your energy together. It's okay for you to be at home on a Saturday night studying. Imagine it's okay. It's okay for you to wake up early on a Sunday morning to read. It's fine. It's okay for you to go to the gym every day. It is fine. There's nothing you're missing out on. You know, because then whatever you feel you're missing out on really is not adding to what you're trying to build here. And remember, your building blocks are also your time, your money, okay, and your energy. And those things, you know, they start to become less and less and less the older you're growing. So now that you have the time, now that Career Cruise has spoken to you, determine for yourself that it's okay to miss out. It is fine. I am doing this and not the other. And it's okay. You don't even have to tell other people what you're doing. It's your, you know, it's your own personal project. Okay, this life is not a community project. You know, it's not community work. You know, we might share in our communities what it is we do, but at the end of the day, the person you're reporting to is the person in the mirror. You're not reporting to me. You're reporting to the person in the mirror. Make that person in the mirror very proud. Okay? If you're not able to build a name, like say Beyonce, you can borrow a name. I know it sounds weird. You can borrow a name. If you are in business, you can borrow a name. Franchise. You know, maybe I want to set up a restaurant and I'm like, I don't know who will come to Violette's restaurant. Violette's fried chicken. I don't know. Why not take up a KFC franchise? People will come to KFC and I'll have my dream of owning and having a restaurant come true with a borrowed name. It's still okay. It's a good name that I've borrowed. If you're working at a job, it is okay to borrow a name. I've seen people who work at jobs where they don't get paid very well, but because that name is so special and so powerful on their CV, on their resume, they're like, it's okay. Even a year or two at this place is enough for me to bounce from where I am to where I want to be. Because there are employers who will be like, oh, you worked at company X, so that means you're something, you're already something because that company is appearing on your CV. That's enough. So you're even able to make ridiculous demands and even get what you want at a job interview and get the salary that you want. Maybe at company Y they aren't paying you too good, but you borrowed their name so that you can get where you want to go. It's all about mileage. It's all about self-improvement. And remember, your job is basically, or rather the work that you're doing, is a vehicle to help you cruise this life, okay? There's so many things you want to do. Life is not just about the work that you're doing or the bills you have to pay. You also have to enjoy yourself. You also have to develop yourself. You also have to, be able to sail through with a level of ease and comfort. And if you can borrow a name to make that happen, why not, okay? So or even get an endorsement. I know people who sometimes, of course, maybe you're not working, you're running a business and you're thinking, how am I going to get through into this level that I want to get through into? Because nobody knows a small business, nobody knows my name, but if you get an endorsement from a bigger person, that's enough. They endorse you, they say, yeah, and they champion you. That's a borrowed name, and you'll still get to where you're going. I've seen people buying names, but this is really big business, like proper buying names. I remember learning that Nike had to buy the name of Michael Jordan, and that's how they increased their sneaker sales. I didn't know that. Like, I think it's such a fantastic thing. But so yeah, if you can buy a name and decide, people just, I think at the time in the market, people thought, if I buy these Jordans, it means then I'll be able to be, I'll be cool like Michael Jordan. I don't know how it works, but it's a psychology of it all. I mean, we live in a world where a good name is better than money, riches or money. You could have money, but nobody knows you, or your name is bad, so nobody wants association with you. So yeah. And the marketplace is just a place for, values competing with acceptance. Like, if I imagine that, if I have this name and the value it carries, then I'm going to be accepted, and that's it. So make a name, add value, make a name, borrow a name, buy a name. You have to advance either way or the other. Something very important that you need to do to advance yourself, or rather to step up, is to identify a vacuum, okay? There's always going to be a gap. Like, if you think about your daily life, there are always things you're frustrated about. There's always going to be a pain point. Something you're like, there's... And it's not that you're complaining, it's just that you feel, if this was better, if there was this, then my life would be better, or my experience in the city will be better, or my experience in the village will be better, my experience in school will be better, my experience at work, my experience as I'm serving my clients will be better, all that. Or some things will be made faster, quicker, the processes will be shorter. There's always a gap if you're thinking about it. But I don't think a lot of us really sit down to consider what gaps these are, and how possibly we could fill them, or find people to fill them. So find a gap in the marketplace, find a gap at your office, find a gap at home, find a gap in your business. Just find a gap. And finding a gap is so easy. It's just that actually we all know where gaps are. Like, if I stop, you'll tell me, oh yeah, there's a gap here. But many times you don't stop to actually consider those as gaps. But yeah, those are gaps that can be filled. And when you find a gap, fill the space like there's no one else. Like like you are the be all and end all in terms of that specific need. So you identify a gap and you find a solution for it, add value. Of course, come with a name, or buy the name, or build a name, it's still okay. Fill that gap like there's no one else in the world. Like, if you're not there, now the society will collapse. And when you have that attitude, you find yourself doing so much more and even attracting so much more people to you. But if you're lackadaisical about it, someone else will come and say, oh, there's a gap there, and then he's not filling it correctly. Sour. They come and plug in, and then you'll be angry that you started off something and then other people have raided your niche. So, and I'm saying that because it's personal. So just identify the vacuum, fill the gap like there's no one else in the world who can do it like you. I remember also, you could start something, but then other people come behind you, and it's still okay, because there's no shortage of ideas and there's no monopoly of ideas. So remember when Microsoft started, they made the big computers, they're called what, mainframes? They're large, like proper windows, even doors, I think. And then, Steve Jobs via Apple makes the computers accessible and pocket friendly, like through the phones. Because now your phone is like a computer. You don't have to carry a huge laptop around. Like the regular person doesn't have to carry a huge laptop around to do a lot of the things they need, because a lot of functionalities, whether it's Word, whether whatever, you find it in your phone. So yeah, you can be an inventor. Okay, when you're filling the gap, you can be an inventor of a solution, or you can be an innovator of the solution. So Microsoft were the inventors, and Steve Jobs via Apple was an innovator. It is an innovative way. Something else I can remember. There's a big bookshop in the UK called Barnes and Noble. Yeah, Barnes and Noble, and of course they were the inventors in terms of that literacy industry. And Amazon at the time was not, since Steve Jeff Bezos, he had a company called Relentless. So he was trying to get into selling books as well, because that's the origin of Amazon. They're selling books. I don't know if you remember. Or you can check it out, by the way, and then come and correct me in the show notes, please. I'm not the abattoir of information, so we're just discussing. So yeah, and he decided to make an innovation. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to fight this big bookshop. Let me do this. Let me turn the company Relentless into Amazon. And so then they were not just selling books now, delivering books, they started delivering other things. So that way, you're not just fighting for the same slice of cake, but you realize there's more that can be done with a service that that you're trying to get into. So that's how Amazon was born, and here we are. Remember, you have to go into the gaps to fight. Sometimes the gaps you're seeing, they're already being filled, in quotes, by giants. Okay, and one thing that I have come to accept and appreciate, and it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying downplay your ambition by there. I'm not saying think small. I am not in any way saying that when you start, your business can only be small. No. Or whatever, or your ranking in your career can only be small. No, do your best, grow as far as you can. Just stretch yourself as far as you can to your own satisfaction. Remember, you have to report to the person in the mirror and make that person proud. So, but coming back to my point, is that you might find like maybe you want to start a cleaning services company because you're thinking, hey, I don't think there's enough sanitation providers in my area. And then when you start to look around, you realize, oh, there are a few giants, and they look like they've occupied all the space. But the truth of the matter is that giants can't occupy all this space. There's places giants can't get into that you can get into if you have a smaller outfit. Because now giants are, this is the way they are focused. And just think about a giant human and a small human in terms of how they move around, how their movement is like. The smaller human can go into places that the giants can hardly go into without making a mess or destroying the ecosystem. Yeah, so be brave and get into the gaps to fight the giants. Think about David and Goliath, so I'm not saying go and fell the giants like Goliath, but I'm just saying that there's opportunity for you, even if you're a David and there's Goliath out there. So you realize that as you continue to do your thing, you realize that an innovator will always kick out the inventor, So the mainframes are not being used as commonly as before. Now we're all on our phones and we're like, oh, let me check the weather, and then you can tell the weather, etc. So it's interesting to see the evolution of things, because there are innovators who are willing to be, to go into the spaces to fight the giants, or rather to take over the spaces the giants haven't taken over in a wonderful way, in a way that adds value. and also they build a name for themselves, Yeah. So the other thing to consider, yes, you have built your name, you focus on what you're doing. Find a villain, There's in the movies, there's always a villain, there's always a victim, there's always the valiant hero, So you find the villain and then you be the valiant hero, okay? Figure out what the problem is and solve it like nobody else can ever solve it, Solve it like it's only you who has the medicine for that situation. So find out what's happening, find out what's happening around you. Stretch your imagination, listen to other people. When conversations are happening, it's okay, don't be the first one to share your opinion. Actually just hear what people are saying, and then as you're taking into consideration, do your research as well, so that you don't just act on people's opinions and think points blindly. So do your research, and as you're filling gaps, fill them in a way that is innovative, in a way that is valuable, in a way that also builds a name for yourself and makes you the MVP, like makes it easy for them to refer others to you, because you're trying to grow, whether it's your career, whether it's your business, you're trying to grow your name, you're trying to make yourself the person that you dream of becoming. Yeah. So, dedicate yourself to conquering the villain. When you dedicate yourself to conquering the villain, I don't know what the challenge in your life is, or what the challenge that you come up with. Is it a challenge of the floods? Is it a challenge of hunger? Is it a challenge of, it could be a big challenge like on a macroeconomic level, or a challenge on a microeconomic level. Figure out what that challenge is and dedicate yourself to conquering it. When you do that, you realize that now only prosperity can follow you. Like only prosperity can follow you because you're doing what you needed to do and you're staying focused on it. Something else, I think I've said this here in other episodes. I've always said be a volunteer. Like just volunteer yourself, okay? Focus on the demand, okay? Not just on your dreams. Dreams are amazing, and dreams, they give us a color, and they really give us the trailer of the movie that we're creating. But when you focus on the demand in the market and step into it to try and meet that demand, so it becomes that every idea you have is a demand in waiting. If you think, oh, let me start a clothes shop, that's a demand in waiting. Maybe there's no clothes shop in your area, or maybe you're trying to do clothes for plus size people, or you're trying to do clothes for small children, or trying to do clothes for the older generation. I don't know, where do our parents shop? Who do they buy clothes from? Are there shops dedicated to people, to the senior population in our environment? I mean, in our society, things like that. So every idea you have is literally a demand in waiting. So, and the vision that you have will speak to the end. So don't just be the person who gets the ideas, but also interpret them in a way that is usable, is valuable, and it's impactful, also in a sustainable way. So when you keep on being demand focused and you're thinking, so you stock up your supply, and you supply in the sense of you're stocking up your knowledge, okay? For example, right now there's a high demand for AI, and I've talked about AI on this channel. There's a demand for AI knowledge amongst all professionals, or as many professionals as possible. So because of that demand, then it's important for us to stock up ourselves, stock up on AI knowledge, stock up on whatever level, not everyone's going to be a guru, but please stock up on that AI knowledge. That when the need comes, you're not empty-handed, you're not holding an empty cup. You are actually able to respond to the demand for the AI needs in the market. So yeah, that's what I'd say. I definitely want to come back and discuss more of these things. I feel like I learned a lot and I just want to share it all with you. So I guess I'll see you guys for part 2 of this. So let me know what you have in mind. I like it when you write to me. Please write. I'd like to host you guys here on the show. I want to discuss with all of you guys, as many as possible, on ways that we can level up and even other topics as well. So until next time, I'll ask you to like, to subscribe, to share, let others know also how they can up-level their lives. I'll see you in the next episode for more of this discussion. Thank you and bye-bye.